1493, Columbus returns to Lisbon, Spain.
Okay, so in this example, you have students creating or recreating the path of Columbus's first voyage. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot more you can do with this. If you're familiar with the pushpin feature in Google Earth, once you click on it, it allows you to bring in pictures. It allows you to type in paragraphs. It does a lot of stuff on there, bring in little video clips. And then when the students finish with this tour, they save it as called a KML file. And if you have a web page, you can post each one of your students' tours in there. Now imagine assigning a rubric to that, a scoring rubric. Okay, you're going to increase rigor doing this type of activity. Okay, because it takes some thought and it takes some practice and planning on their part, not yours. On your part, you have to kind of plan for the activities, but once they start, you just guide. Okay, all right. So let's see what happens with this. You have substitution, augmentation, modification, redefinition. Okay. Of these four, when we look at it, the first two videos, there's nothing wrong with using substitution and augmentation. Sometimes you just need to show where this place is on the map. That's great. Okay? Sometimes you need to show distances between two places. I'm not saying you don't do that, but if you really want to start changing the classroom environment and transforming it, this is where you want to do most of your technology integration, right here. Okay? Another thing you need to notice. The first two, teacher-centered. You know, I'm teaching, I'm showing you this. Okay? And the next two videos, it's student-centered. Let's go back to Compass. What are they requiring of us? They're requiring students to be able to produce in the engagement part. Okay? So when we're looking at using technology, and guys, you know the kids love technology. You know, it's a no-sell. You know, you just have to put them in front of it, give them a little guidance, and they're going to be able to eat this stuff up. Okay? Teachers eat this stuff up. I did Intech for maybe 10 years. And it was amazing to me when I put teachers in a classroom and said, listen, I just want you to take on the role of a student and create a trading card on one historical figure in Publisher. And I said, you don't have to finish it. All you need to do is put a picture of that historical figure and write a paragraph of text using Publisher. And if they didn't have enough time to put in all the bells and whistles, they would get upset because you were taking that away from them. And I didn't require them to finish it. But you understand, we all like showing what we're capable of doing. What can we do? This allows your students to have that individuality. Okay, but think about that. Now, I'm going to test you. So on the sheet of paper that you wrote your number on, you can write right there. The next video is a test. I want you to watch this video, and there's one predominantly repeating scenario in this video. And I want you to put if it's substitution, augmentation, modification, or redefinition. It's important that all you guys can see it, okay? All right.
Emma. 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 Emma.
Le tréfonds maxifaire, vraiment plus large.
Sometimes paper is necessary. What was the predominant one you saw in this video? Substitution. You know, it even showed, look, instead of notes on the refrigerator, there's notes on my pad. Instead of, reading out of a magazine, read from your pad. Substitution. But I gotta tell you, when the paper thing came out, I thought, boy, this is good. Okay. So, yeah, we still need paper. Trust me, we need paper. Okay, now, Bloom's. Familiar with Bloom's? If you went to any kind of teaching program, you know what Bloom's can do for you, or should do for you. The last, I think early 1990s, Bloom's changed. Okay, so let's take a look at what happened with Bloom's. Okay, and early on we had knowledge at the base, understanding, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Well, because of technology, it actually forced the rethinking of Bloom's, and now we're looking at remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and look at the top, create. Okay? So now you're faced with a different type of challenge in the classroom. And I gotta tell you, when you look at this stuff, and you can understand with my next picture, what happens when we go up this pyramid. Okay, nice cake, huh? All right, as we go up the cake pyramid, rigor increases. Okay, and what I mean by rigor, we're getting students to do more. We're getting them to be part of the lesson. We're getting students to take ownership of their learning. At the bottom, remember, what are some technologies that would assist teachers in at least the very basic in Bloom's? Okay, we have some of these. Okay, Creately, combo cards, and all of these are types of Web 2.0 tools that can quickly help kids memorize and get certain things quickly. Okay, not a whole lot of creation here. All right. Let's look at some power words that you would find with these particular software titles. Okay, count, define, describe, find, identify, label. You can read them. Okay. When writing objectives, think about them. Especially if you are going to be assessed in Compass, which you should always be thinking about in all of your lessons. Okay, where do I want the majority of my objectives to rest? The upper levels. In the upper levels. Okay? Think about your word choice. And then think about how are you going to get them there. And concept. Now, you need to keep this in mind. Just because you see and understand does not mean it can't jump between any one of those categories. Okay, you saw Google Earth. Google Earth was at the very basic, okay, at the very bottom. But then when it transforms, it moves to the top. So as a technology-aware teacher, okay, where you understand technology, you'll know where to put it in. Here are some power words for this category. Compare, conclude, contrast, define, demonstrate, describe, estimate, explain, and so forth. Okay. Apply. Wolfram Alpha. I don't know if you're familiar with Wolfram Alpha. Amazing technology. It's a search engine on steroids, and if you're doing math or any kind of comparison, give it a try. It's free. You can install it as a plug-in on the browsers. Put in anything you want, and it'll spit back some tons of information. I just became familiar with Scratch. How many of you have ever heard of Scratch? Okay, you need to look it up, especially for kids that like gaming. This is a very student, and it's free. MIT, I think, put it out, and it's programmable. It's a program of, what do we call it, programming program? It is a programming program, but it's very, very student-centered, and it comes with step-by-step instructions. And what you end up doing is you understand logical thinking. Starting with very simple movements of characters, you are programming the movement of certain things in an environment. It can go to very higher levels and even upper programming languages. But it's at the ground floor, very easy to understand, even for me. Okay? And again, go to Web 2.0. All the stuff I'm showing you here, go to this website, and it has all of them. and it categorizes them for you. Okay, power words in this area. Okay, adapt, choose, construct, determine, develop, draw, illustrate, modify, optimize, and so forth. Okay. Analyze. This is an interesting one. Okay, and I started putting. We have Microsoft Office in our parish, so you need to kind of utilize this when you can. Excel, Access. These are some awesome programs if you understand their capabilities. And to what level can you bring them into your classroom? Okay, but create a graph. Very simple to create graphs in your classroom. Google Trends. You can put on. I was just for the heck of it. I wanted to put in renting a car. Purchasing a car versus leasing, and it gives you the trends. And it's amazing to see what happens over the last 10 years when it comes to leasing and purchasing of automobiles. And that can spark conversation. But having kids do trend analysis, okay? Power words to this category. By the way, if you're struggling to get this, I have it all for you. All this stuff. I don't do handouts though. You have to log into Moodle to get it, but it's all in our Fouche Parish Moodle. Evaluate. Okay? Rubistore, YouTube, iRubric, Google Docs, ODaddy, a way of evaluating some of your content. Okay? YouTube I'll put up here, and I'll kind of say, what can you do that? Having kids create using storyboards and creating a video with a rubric in mind. That's why it's related to this tool. Okay. Evaluate. Assess, choose, compare, include, consider, construct, contrast, critique, debate, define, determine, estimate, evaluate, explain, and interpret, so forth and so on. Okay. Again, keep this in mind when you're doing lesson plans. Then create. And to me, this is my best. This is where I really think kids shine, is when you bring them into this area, letting them show you what they can do. Awesome programs, and I gotta tell you, for the most part, this is the only one that we really don't have in parish. This one they just recently started charging. Okay, Gloucester. Before you can do it for free, they changed it. All the rest are free programs. Prezi, oh by the way, Prezi, this is what I'm using to present on here. Prezi is free for all educators. So if you sign up for a Prezi account, they give you the full version free. Okay, as long as you put in your Fouche Parish email address, they'll send you your code, and you have it for free. Okay, so what are we? Oh, and Jane, you saw the videos I did with YouTube. I used Jane to capture those and put them in my presentation. Okay. Power words here, a lot of them. Okay. So this is going to give you kind of like a menu of words to look through and decide how you're going to implement them in your classroom. How are you going to bring them to your kids? Okay. Okay, with that, okay, we've been through all of this stuff, and I kind of gave you an overview of how you can start looking at technology different. Okay, hopefully you kind of have an idea of where you are now in the classroom based on what you've seen here. Turn your paper over, rate yourself at the end. I don't want to see it, this is just for you. Hopefully you've picked up some tips and you've seen some technologies that can assist you in maybe making sense of the integration in your classroom. Okay? Any questions? I want to take you to a couple more sites just to show you what it looks like in the classroom. There's some excellent video.